RAPPLER'S CEO Maria Ressa versus people of the Philippines.
I appeal to you, the journalists in this room, the Filipinos who are listening, to protect your rights. We are meant to be a cautionary tale. We are meant to make you afraid.
Videos with current events.
Has granted with special powers.
Videos with interesting stories.
Sikorsky S-70
Videos with thrilling facts.
coronavirus.
And entertaining videos. This is MIL Teacher Sir Arjay, where you can get your daily dose of reliable information.
Mr. President, is it important that people be afraid of you? Fear. Hello and welcome. I'm Maria Ressa.
Maria Ressa carries the torch of press freedom in a country held in thrall by a populist president.
It started with the drug war.
Do not do drugs because I will kill you.
President Duterte began his administration with the drug list.
This is the drug industry of the Philippines.
He showed everyone a list. People on that list started dying.
I'm telling the Filipino people it's gonna be bloody.
We demanded the government be held accountable.
Duterte was annoyed by our reporting.
You are a fake news outlet. They will be allowed to criticize us, but you go to jail for your crime.
We started getting attacked on social media. The government created disinformation networks so people have no idea what the truth is. I was getting an average of 90 hate messages per hour.
We don't even know whether we can trust the police to protect us.
Just because you're a journalist, I thought you're exempted from assassination.
We didn't even realize how dangerous it is for you.
Why are you crying?
I'm scared for you.
Maria Ressa has been arrested.
The charges against Ressa were aimed at intimidating those who challenged Duterte's rule.
So why should you care about what happens in the Philippines?
They test the tactics of how to manipulate America in our country. If it works, they port it over to the rest of the world.
Maria Ressa was one of 4 journalists named as Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
Maria won't be afraid. I'm afraid for her.
What we're seeing is death by 1,000 cuts. Little cuts of Philippine democracy. We will not duck, we will not hide, we will hold the line.
In Manila on October 2, 1963, Maria Angelita Ressa was born from an 18-year-old mother. Her father then died when she was only 1 year old. So, her mother then moved to US and married an Italian-American man. Maria and her sister then adopted by their stepfather in Toms River, New Jersey, USA. Maria graduated at Princeton University as a cum laude with a BA degree in English with certificates in theater and dance in 1986. She then was awarded a Fulbright scholarship to study political theater at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Maria has taught courses in politics in Southeast Asia for Princeton University and broadcast journalism for the University of the Philippines. Maria first worked at a government station at PTV4. She then co-founded independent production company Probe in 1987 and simultaneously served as CNN's bureau chief in Manila until 1995. In 1995 to 2005, Maria ran CNN's Jakarta bureau and served as lead investigative reporter in Asia, specializing in investigating terrorist networks, leading to her to write her first book, Seeds of Terror, an eyewitness account of Al-Qaeda's newest center, in 2003. And from Bin Laden to Facebook, 10 days of abduction, 10 years of terrorism in 2013. From 2004, Maria headed news division of ABS-CBN while also writing for CNN and the Wall Street Journal. In September 2010, she wrote a piece for the Wall Street Journal criticizing the then President Benigno Aquino III handling of the bus hostage crisis. This led Maria to finally leaving ABS-CBN in 2010 after deciding not to renew her contract. In 2012, she established the online news site Rappler, along with 3 other female founders and with a small team of 12 journalists and developers. It started first as a Facebook page named MovePH in 2011 and evolved into a complete website in 2012. The site became one of the first multimedia news websites in the Philippines, receiving numerous local and international awards, becoming the 4th largest website in the country, employing about 100 journalists. She serves as the executive editor and chief executive officer of the news website. Maria was included in Time's Person of the Year 2018 as one of a collection of journalists from around the world combating fake news. Maria is the second Filipino to receive the title after former President Aquino in 1986. In April 2019, she was included in Time's 100 Most Influential People in the World. Under her leadership, Rappler has been consistently critical of Duterte's policies, especially his policies on war on drugs, with their stories demonstrating that the abuses were being carried out by the police with Duterte's approval. Rappler also wrote the alleged pro-Duterte online troll army, which according to their article, were pushing out fake news stories, manipulating the narrative around his presidency. In July 2017, in his State of Union speech, Duterte declared Rappler to be fully owned by the Americans and hence in violation of the Constitution. He also said, not only is Rappler's news fake, it, being Filipino, is also fake. Subsequently, in August 2017, the Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) investigated Rappler, and in January 2018, it revoked Rappler's license to do business. The case went to the Court of Appeals, where it was remanded back to the SEC for having no basis. Duterte told the Rappler reporter in 2018, "If you are trying to throw garbage at us, then the least that we can do is explain. How about you? Are you also clean?" The government then revoked the site's operating license. Rappler's 133 million pesos tax evasion. In November 2018, the Philippine government announced that it would charge Maria and Rappler's parent company, Rappler Holding Corporation, with tax evasion and failure to file tax returns. The charge concerns the investment in Rappler by the Omidyar network in 2015. Maria has denied wrongdoing, originally stating that the foreign money was donated to its managers, later stating the investments were in the form of securities. It concluded that Rappler evaded payment amounting to 133 million pesos in taxes. Wilfredo Keng versus Rappler. On January 22, 2018, Maria appeared before the Philippines National Bureau of Investigation to comply with the subpoena over an online libel complaint under the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. The subpoena was issued on January 10 to Maria, together with former Rappler reporter Reynaldo Santos and businessman Benjamin Bitanga. The subpoena was filed in October 2017 by Filipino-Chinese national Wilfredo Keng, after Rappler published a story on Keng's alleged lending of his sports utility vehicle to now deceased Chief Justice Renate Corona as a bribe form of favor. Though the article was written in 2012 before the act criminalizing cyberlibel was signed into law, the Department of Justice considered it republished after a typographical error was corrected in 2014. In 2019, prominent international human rights lawyer Amal Clooney joined the legal team consisting of international and Filipino lawyers defending Maria. On February 13, 2019, Philippine Judge Reinelda Estacio Montesa of the Manila Regional Trial Court, Branch No. 46, issued the arrest warrant for cyberlibel against Maria for the charge that was based on the technicality that fixing a typo might be considered republishing. On February 14, 2019, Maria gained freedom by posting bail at 100,000 pesos. Maria's arrest was criticized by the international community as Ressa is an outspoken critic of President Rodrigo Duterte. Many viewed the arrest as being politically motivated. In contrast, the official spokesperson for the Malacanang Palace denied any government involvement in the arrest, instead by a private individual, the complainant Wilfredo Keng. Madeleine Albright, a former U.S. Secretary of State, issued an opinion stating that the arrest must be condemned by all democratic nations. Similarly, the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines called it a shameless act of persecution by a bully government. However, the National Press Club has stated that the arrest was not harassment and that Maria should not be classified as the altar of press freedom for martyrdom. It also warned against politicizing the issue. Maria was found guilty on June 15, 2020. In her ruling, Judge Reinalda Estacio Montesa argued that Rappler did not offer a scintilla of proof that they verified the imputations of various crimes in the disputed article. They just simply published them as news in their online publication in reckless disregard of whether they are false or not. Judge Reinalda Estacio Montesa also quoted Nelson Mandela saying, "To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." Sheila Coronel, director of the Stabile Center for Investigative Journalism at Columbia University, argued that the conviction is representative of how democracy dies in the 21st century. Maria faces between 6 months and 6 years in prison and a fine of 400,000 pesos or $8,000. Maria warned that her conviction could foretell the end of freedom of the press in the Philippines. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque asked the media to respect the decision and affirm the commitment of President Rodrigo Duterte to free speech. While opposition leader Leni Robredo described it as a chilling development, the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines said it basically kills freedom of speech and of the press. Internationally, the ruling has been criticized by Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and Reporters Without Borders in its statement condemning the release. Reporters Without Borders termed the legal proceedings against Ressa Kafkaesque.
If you like this video, please click the subscribe button below and we have more videos for you. Thank you.